All right, it's the next day. Gavin and Eric and I got quite a bit of work done on this thing. Basically, we got the entire front end disassembled, pulled apart. Still haven't gotten the motor mounts out, but we got the bolts broken loose on the tops of them. So it should be fairly easy to move forward with that, considering those were the hardest nuts to get to, not bolts. But here's a quick run through of what we've gotten off and how I'm going to be moving forward with this today. Basically, I'm just going to be doing a time lapse of me scrubbing off any grime, road debris, oil. There's definitely an oil leak and also a coolant leak somewhere that I kind of have to, take care of some point in the near future. However, the main goal is to just clean up as much as we can so that way we can diagnose where it's coming from, because you're going to see how much grime is underneath this vehicle, as well as the parts I'm going to be cleaning up. I might be hitting it with some Rust-Oleum, or I might be going with some Steel-It. I haven't decided yet, but today is just going to be a deep clean to get off as much grime to be able to prep. Kind of did a walkthrough yesterday, but we have the entire front end off. The only thing we haven't gotten to yet is the sway bar. That's going to be really easy to take off and replace those bushings. But due to our time constraints, we were more worried about getting the tops of the motor mounts broken loose, as well as getting off the brackets for the I-beams to be able to properly treat them, clean up the hardware, do our due diligence to make sure that next time we have to touch any of this stuff, it's not going to be covered in any sort of surface rust. Gunk that you're going to see under here is just absolutely diabolical. This is just caked on. Look at this. And then we kind of started on the I-beams last night. Definitely some surface rust and some chipping going on, but we're going to get off as much gunk as we can to make this look brand new with the new suspension. So let's get right into it. Just a quick update where we're at. Broke out the sandpaper, been using the wire brush on the drill, trying to get as much of the old chipping paint out as we can and surface rust. It's not going to be perfect on either of them. However, we're going to give it a respray up to the best of our abilities. So we might cut it off right before the ball joints. I haven't really decided yet, but alright, so we're going to get ready to paint these. I was going to get Steel-It, however, it was a little bit too expensive, and I might have some other plans for the truck at a later date. But these are what I'm going to be painting the I-beams and the radius arms with. I got off as much old paint as I could. There goes the back. But I'm going to spray it with this, a couple coats, let it sit overnight. It's pretty hot out today in San Diego in May, which is pretty crazy. But couple coats of this, let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to be hitting it with the gloss black enamel. So here we go. Let's get started with it. I did my 3 or 4 coats on both of these sets for the I-beams as well as the radius arms. I didn't really do the best job of protecting. I'm planning on getting new brakes anyways. Didn't really clean that side, so I kind of stopped at the ball joints. I don't need to be that perfect because I don't have a press to get those ball joints out, and I don't really want to mess with any of that. So I'm gonna let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to hit it with some gloss black paint. Alright, so it's a couple days later. I got the brackets off from the Ranger, and I want to clean these up as well because the paint's chipping super bad. There's a bit of surface rust on it as well. Try to clean it up best I can. So what I got is, I still have a little bit of simple green. I'll probably try to clean those off a little bit. And I got some sprayable stripper, which I'm going to put into this bottle. Use a brush a little bit to agitate if needed. And yeah, next after this, I think that's it. And I'm just gonna paint them. They should be ready to put back the front of the Ranger. It's gonna be pretty sick. Alright, so I went in for a second coat because I feel like I didn't apply it enough, or this is just really stuck on there. But I got these sprayed. Tried not to get onto the tire at all. I don't think I got any on actually. I used that little paintbrush to just agitate it and spread it out, so that way I didn't get it on the actual rubber. But I'm gonna try to get these off.
That bubble, that's crazy.
Okay, so we're gonna be taking out the motor mounts. It's gonna be some bolts right there, that one, and some on the side over there. Essentially, you want to break the top bolts loose, and then support the engine. Damn, that's a lot of grease. We're gonna do one side at a time, and you have to pull out that whole bracket to be able to get the motor mount out. And we're gonna slide it out. All right, so we broke loose all the bolts. Darren's got the light up here, and you can see, because everything's removed, this is free floating. So we have it connected to an engine hoist, just supporting the engine. We're gonna do one side at a time for safety reasons. But because we only connected it on one side, the engine's tilting. So this one we're gonna have to jack up a little bit more, but it might make it easier on the other side as well. It's not looking good at all. Okay, so we're gonna replace this one now. Finally we have access to that bolt, and then throw it back in. This thing is, yeah, these things are hydraulic, are filled with hydraulic fluid, I think. And yeah, there's none in this. It's been pissing for a long time, so. Wow.
I smell brake cleaner.
All right, so what we did, because there's no alignment pin on the bottom for this, we had to preset it in loose and then paint pen mark it on the side to be able to find where we need to line it up to make sure the top lines up properly. All right. So the trick is to feed it underneath. If you can get it in, you're going to get the mount in the bracket, whoops, close to the bottom, and then you're going to be able to swing it up and in. And so at that point, I'm going to use my other hand to pre-thread part of this bolt on top as a safety precaution. That thing's pretty chewed up. Take your other bracket, get it on the inside. I missed the hole. Fuck. God, this sucks. Oh, I got it. Both of them. That was cool. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna tighten the bottom only, and you'll leave the top bolt loose on the motor mount because we still have to do the other side. We need that flexibility. And for now, I'm just gonna hand tighten everything so that way we have the most amount of flexibility to do the other side. And that's how you take out a motor mount. Woo! So we're getting ready to do the other side. I didn't notice. Look at that motor mount. So much torque, it twisted the chassis. That's what's going on here. So this one should be significantly easier to get out because of the mounting spot on the crane pulling up the right side of the motor more than the left side. So yeah, this thing's poking out quite a bit. All right, we got the motor mount out on this side. Check that out. That's crazy. 2 pieces. This side was a little bit easier to get out. Okay, so now that the motor mounts are taken care of and ready to sit, we're gonna move to the transmission mount. Because the engine's hoisted up, there's gonna be less tension on the transmission. You gotta break the lower nuts loose and then break the bolts loose that connect to the transmission themselves. I would recommend some PB Blaster on these.
And I'm gonna let them soak, and we're gonna see how this comes out.
You're gonna need a persuasion bar to break this bail loose.
So here is the old transmission mount. We actually ended up jacking it up with a piece of wood. You want to go slow so you don't pinch anything. But here's the old one. Not in too bad of a shape. Here is the new one. So we're gonna slide this in, call it a day, and move forward with it.
Sick. What I'm doing is threading in the top bolts first, because those seem to be the biggest pain in the butt. Or at least threading them if I can. Yeah, it's not even close, bro. Oh wait, maybe it's just the... Fuck.
We found it.
We found it.
Alright, so now that the transmission mount is mounted, we're going to tighten up. Wow, I can't see shit. So now that the transmission's mount is in, we're going to tighten up everything for the motor mounts on each side. We're going to start on the passenger side again, because that side hangs lower, again, just because of the crane that we got, the engine hoist. Alright, so motor mounts are in on both sides. We got that bracket pre-mounted. We're gonna mount this one now, and we're slowly gonna start to put this thing back together with whatever we can. Alright, so brackets are in, everything's tightened down. Motor mount brackets are good. Everything's tidied up, and now we're going to start to reassemble the I-beams. These are them after they've been painted. So we're going to start to refresh both sides, get all the bushings lined up. We're not going to be able to install them completely just because we need the coil spring seats or insulators. Alright, so while we're waiting for the pivot bushings to freeze in the freezer, we're going to remock up the new tie rod kit. So we're going to leave this on the ground for now, and then put together as much as we can up top. I'm going to sneeze.